Alright, welcome to the Deal Site Buster. How to use Groupon, Living Social, and other deal sites to leverage your business. My name is Ken Richardson, and we're going to go through a couple of different things here. First, I'm going to show you exactly what a deal site is and how to use them. Second, I'm going to show you the 5 mistakes that I made on my first deal site run that you can learn from. And I'm also going to show you exactly what happened when I made some changes to the structures of my deals. Alright, so who am I? Well, my name is Ken Richardson, and I own my own window washing and gutter cleaning company just outside of Niagara Falls, Ontario. And the reason why I actually decided to create this program is because I was looking for a way to advertise my business and actually to launch my small business when I first started, when I stumbled upon Groupon. So this program is actually built upon the trials and tribulations and lessons that I learned through running multiple Groupons and different deal sites, and how you can actually learn from my experience. So what exactly is a deal site? Well, what a deal site is they basically offer 50% off local businesses' products or services to a large email list of buyers. Even in a city the size of where I live, which is about 300,000, they've got about a third of the population of my city on an email list. They have almost 100,000 people. Now what they do is they typically take a commission of 50% for every sale that they make for you. But the nice thing about this model is that they have absolutely no risk to your business financially. There's no cost to you unless they sell your product. So what happens is you sell your product for a 50% discount, and then they take a 50% commission off of that discount. So you actually only wind up taking home 25% of your normal costs. The nice thing about this model is that there's absolutely no risk to you as a business owner, and that's why I loved it when I was starting my business, because I didn't have to go and shell out $1,000 to put out some advertising or hire a bunch of people to go knock on doors or anything like that. I could just put my services out there, and lo and behold, the first time I ran one, I got about 75 clients in a pretty small market. My market here is about 300,000 or so in the market that I was targeting. If you're in a larger market, you're going to see big results from these deal sites. Some of the deal sites have hundreds of thousands of people sitting on their email lists, and you'll see 500 to 600 purchases of popular items. So, a couple of things that most people tell me when I start talking about Groupon. Most people think that you lose a lot of money when you use deal sites, and what I'm going to show you is you don't actually have to lose money. Now, obviously, you're not losing money, but you're not making a whole lot of money. If you're running just a standard Groupon, you're making basically 25% of what we would normally charge for something. So it's not the ideal situation, and I'm going to show you a couple of techniques and ways that you can set up the structure of your deal so that you're not just making 25% off of every client, because really that's not a sustainable business model, and I don't like the whole I'm gonna put my stuff out there, and I'm gonna give a good deal, and I'm just gonna hope that people are gonna come back to me and purchase again. And I'm gonna show you how to structure the deal so that that isn't necessarily the way that you're going. You might have heard that everybody that uses a deal site is cheap. Really interesting story. The first time I ran a Groupon, I had 4, maybe 5 phone calls come through during my first run, basically saying that they didn't want to buy the coupon, they wanted to pay my full prices, and they wanted me to come out right away, which kind of like blew me away. I was pretty intrigued that that people were going to go that route. And I've also, I've had a lot of repeat clients now through Groupon. Are you going to run into the occasional customer that's pretty, cheap? Sure. It's kind of the nature of the site, but again, using the techniques that I'm going to show you, you're going to minimize the risk of running into an entire run of those types of people. And the stats say about 10% of the population are those deal hunters, and then there's 90% of the population It's either a loyal customer or a price customer, so they're just going to go to where the best price is. So maybe you're unsure how to structure that profitable deal, or you've looked at Groupon and gone, man, I don't think I can do that. I'm going to show you a couple of different techniques on how you can do things to do that. And maybe you're concerned about getting too much business. Maybe you're a one-man operation, and you're like, I don't know how I'd service 600 or 800 clients that all came in at once. I can show you a couple of different ways that we can structure it so that if you are a one-man or a two-man or three-person operation, we can scale it so that it works for you. And maybe you wanted to use these deal sites to grow your business. Well, obviously I did too. So a little bit about me and sort of where I'm coming from. I was working in the outdoor industry, which basically is you get to go to camp year-round and play games and have a good time. The great part about that is it's a really fun job. The bad part about that is that it's not really financially viable as you get older. So I came back and I was looking around, and the best job I could find, it was a $15 an hour job, and I was knocking on doors, booking appointments for a window replacement company. Not really the ideal job. I'm sure that anybody that's worked a door-to-door job is, you get a lot of doors slammed in your face, and that's okay. But I got to be outside. I enjoyed that part of it, and it was okay money, so I was doing pretty well with it. The problem is, I lost that job. I got laid off a couple of months after I got the job. I had just purchased, or not purchased, but rented a new apartment. So I went out and I got a job at a call center. And I'm sure for anyone that's worked at a call center before, it's my version of hell on earth. But maybe some people may enjoy it, but it's not really my kind of thing. It's not really my gig. So the training for the call center that I was doing was in the evenings, so I had my days free, and of course I was using my days to find any other better job that I could find. So I actually had applied for a job as a window washer. What I did is I went out one day and worked with a crew and talked to the guy that owned the company, and he said, "Oh yeah, we'll talk tonight and we'll figure out when we're going to get you in." So later that night comes along, and of course I decided, oh great, I've got a new job. So I left at the call center, and I got a phone call from the guy that owned the company and said, we're not really sure, we don't really want to work with you. Sorry, was basically the message that he gave me. Was a little annoyed, obviously, because I had left my other job. Probably a hasty decision on my part, but that's okay. But what that did is that gave me an idea. Because I had gone out and I had worked with him for an afternoon, it allowed me to look at his business and go, hey, I can do that. So I went out and actually started my own window cleaning business. So in the process of getting the window cleaning business up, I got a website going, and I got some, I got a couple of clients through that, but it wasn't busy enough to to pay the bills and things like that. So I was looking at other marketing methods that I could use, and I stumbled upon Groupon. And Groupon is a deal site. Seems to be the most popular deal site here where I live, just outside of Niagara Falls in Canada. And basically, I just set up a Groupon run. I wasn't really sure what I was doing. I gave them a call, and they looked around at other what they considered successful runs and made some suggestions. And I said, sure, sounds great. Let's go for that. And ran a Groupon. And the first Groupon I ran, I got 75 clients in like 4 days. Fantastic, right? Well, yes and no. There was a lot of problems with the first Groupon run that I had, and they didn't really show up until I started going out to my clients' houses and actually trying to service these Groupons, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit. Since then, I've had over 300 customers in 6 months come from a fairly small market. My market's about 300,000 here, just outside of Niagara Falls. If you're in a bigger market, you can get a lot more clients than that in 6 months if you do a bunch of, Groupon runs. So I made a lot of mistakes. My first mistake is that I offered all kinds of extras, and it cost me a lot of money. And I didn't really realize that until I was actually going out and servicing my clients. Once I got out and realized that I had basically given away the farm, I realized I didn't have any other place to make any money. And I was essentially out there just banging off these Groupons, trying to get them done as fast as possible, which lowered my service to the client because I was trying to get them done quickly. So I realized that I wanted to be able to offer better service, but to do that I needed to get paid a little bit more. So my offer was poorly designed, and that's because I trusted Groupon to structure the offer so that it worked best. And that was my main thing. I was getting out to clients' homes and they were expecting that I was going to do all kinds of extras that wasn't included in the Groupon, and they would get angry at me because I didn't specify that this, that, and the other thing wasn't included. So it's probably again a rookie mistake, but because that mistake was made, I learned from it. I also had a lot of customers that bought the deal more than once. So I would have, I ran a Groupon in June, and then I ran another one in September, and the people that bought the Groupon in June also bought it in September. So that was another sort of big mistake that I made, and there's a pretty easy fix to that one, and I'll tell you about that in a little bit here. And I wasn't ready for the traffic to my website. That's the other kind of cool thing about Groupon, is that because they're mailing out, they're sending a lot of traffic to your website, and you can actually capture a lot of sales leads just from the sheer traffic that Groupon or another deal site will send to your website. You also want to make sure that your website is ready for the traffic, especially if you're in a large market, because if you get a mail out to Groupon, you might crash your website. So just a forewarning if you're in a major market. And the fifth sort of big mistake I made was that again, Groupon was offering a free online booking system, and it sounds fantastic, but there is all kinds of stuff that it can't do. If you don't have an online booking system and you need one and you don't want to pay for one, then Groupon's is okay. It will book you appointments, it will collect your customers' information, but there's a whole bunch of things that it doesn't do. I can't export any of my clients' information out of their booking system, so if I've got 300 clients in Groupon's booking system, they all just sit there. I have to individually copy all of their email addresses in and out of them. It's kind of a pain, and it's again, like I said, it's a basic booking system. The other thing that they offer with it is the ability to use their verification tools to verify the Groupons, so that you don't overbook yourself with the Groupon. So if a client has a Groupon, they enter it in and it says, okay, well, we're only going to book 2 appointments that day for Groupon and leave you 2 appointments for full-priced appointments. Great idea. Problem is, can't get their contact information. I get their name and their phone number and their address, but Groupon hides your email when they do that. So I've got a couple of tools that I use that I'll show you how to use to sort of go around that particular problem with the Groupon booking system. So this is how I figured out basically the system that I'm going to show you. I lost a lot of money. It was a lot of trial and error. I've probably run about 6 Groupons deal sites since I've started, and I think I finally got the revelation down. And again, the revelation is I was giving away the farm. You don't want to give a premium service away on a deal site like Groupon, and I'll show you exactly how to structure these things a little bit later. So here's the results. Since I've tweaked my process, my average customer spend increased about 400%. That's just by implementing a few basic principles of marketing into my Groupons. I captured 800% more leads during my deal site run. So that's people hit my website and fill out their information to either get a free quote, or they get they're entering a contest or something like that. I'm able to capture their information so that I can market to them later on. That's the key of your website. If you don't have a website that can capture leads, it's not really working to its full potential. I'll show you how I created more repeat customers out of running more Groupons. Really interesting theory on that one, and how you can actually use Groupon to have your customers repeat. And I found a system that profits every time. The first time I ran that Groupon, I didn't make a whole lot of money. I basically made what Groupon paid me. Now I am seeing a lot more capital coming out of the clients that book into the Groupon because of the systems that I've put in place. So you're going to see a little email box next to this video. Just pop your email in there, and I'm going to show you exactly what I changed during my run. I'm going to show you how you can replicate my success. I'm going to show you my systems. It's all free. It's not going to cost you anything. There's no big upsell. It's all free information. I'm going to show you the exact terms I send to Groupon when I run a deal. And again, that's something that I've learned through trial and error. And obviously how to build an email list when clients redeem their Groupon. This is a pretty cool one, because if you're not using an online booking system, or if you're not in a business that requires people to book appointments, I've got a really cool way to show you how to build an email list of your clients before they redeem their Groupon. Kind of cool, and I'll show you that in the next video. So again, my name is Ken Richardson, and you can just go ahead and pop your name in the box right next to the video here, and we'll get on to the next video. Thanks for watching.